Hi there, everybody. Another day of not enough sun. It's upstate New York. It's winter, so welcome. I am Dr. Lisa Ann Homick from Homick Advanced Chiropractic, the one arm, and BrainSense Telehealth, the other arm. And this is your episode of Brain Snob, where I'm going to talk about what to do after you survive the ER. I hope you do. Hospitals and emergency rooms have been big in the news lately, and we want people to have the best care there. We don't want people overwhelmed. We don't want it overcrowded, and lately things have been kind of hairy if you listen to the news and what's taking place at various cities around the country. But after you get out of the ER, what comes next? Now, this is important because very little is offered to you when you are in the hospital or visiting the ER. We know that. Get you in, get you out. That's the goal. So when you go home, what you decide to do is up to you. Let's first of all talk about, why did you go there in the first place? This is the important question. Why would somebody go to the emergency room or the hospital? Well, that's very obvious. Something you couldn't take care of yourself was necessary. You needed attention. You didn't know how to do it yourself. Like, for example, stitching yourself up. I'm not one to do that myself. I don't know. I would prefer somebody else do that for me. So that's one example. You needed somebody to do something for you that you weren't willing to do yourself, or you don't want to do yourself. Or number two, you're in a situation where you didn't quite know what to do. You didn't have the knowledge, or you lacked the confidence to make a decision about yourself. And perhaps you wanted another doctor to give you their second opinion or their first opinion, but you wanted to be able to have another person to talk it over with. And that's an important psychological help when you go anywhere. When you go anywhere for a specialist and ask questions, whether it's you're getting your car fixed, you're getting your teeth cleaned, you're getting your vacuum repaired, you want that other person to say, "It's all right. I see this all the time. We're going to get you through it, and you're going to be fine." So those are the two main reasons somebody would go to the emergency room or the hospital. Now, if you listen to my video a couple months back, and I talk about what's happening in healthcare lately or modern, what's going on, I say that when you end up in the ER, it's too late. Things have progressed for a long time that you kind of ignored, or you thought it was no big deal. But when I say it's too late, it means you decided to go get help when things were really beyond the point of simple repair or natural repair. A broken leg, that's something acute, so I'm not talking about that. But if you let things go for a long, long time and then needed that type of intervention, so broken leg is the acute example. So maybe arthritic pain, where you go and get some type of an injection, or even go and get an artificial hip put in. When things happened for a long time and festered for far too long, that's when people seek the advice and the intervention at a hospital and an ER. Am I picking on just them? No, but there's other places you can go for intervention for any type of health matter, but I'm talking about when things are so serious that you actually need something big, like a medication change or some type of treatment for your heart, things like that. Now, when I say too late, what did we let go for far too long? What is that? Well, number one, nervous system dysfunction. If you let your nervous system progress in a negative state for too long, you're not going to bounce back. You're not going to have that resilience. So when your nervous system is dysfunctional for far too long, you're going to have problems. You're just not going to heal on a normal, typical schedule. You're not going to heal well, you're going to heal poorly. And that is nervous system dysfunction. Not a lot of people understand nervous system dysfunction. Chiropractors talk about it, and it's important because your brain and your spinal cord make your body work. You need them. They're not just some automatic autopilot. Yes, you do have a lot of automatic functions. We call that part of the autonomic nervous system, and your body does take good care of you 24 hours a day. We've got to respect it. We've got to give back. That nervous system deserves your TLC. And all you know about chiropractic is you go there when you have back pain? I know, that's a pet peeve of mine. Nervous system dysfunction is why you go to the chiropractor. And how do you know your nervous system is dysfunctional? There's lots of clues. Lots of clues. So don't just wait for the time you have back pain. If you're not happy with how your health is at the moment, you should ask a chiropractor, what's going on with my nervous system and how can I fix it? Another problem that can go on for far too long that leads people to the emergency room or the hospital for a hospital stay is nutrient depletion. And our food supply is woefully depleted. So you have to fill in the gaps somehow, somewhere. And I'm going to tell you, you need standard process whole food concentrates to do that, which I provide in my office. So that's handy. Yep. And the other reason you are going to the emergency room or getting admitted to the hospital because something was festering for too long, and that would be toxins building up in your body. They're trapped and you can't get them out because you need to bump up your nutrients, and you've got to get your nervous system back in sync with your body, because your nervous system will tell your organs of detoxification to do their job. So what does this involve? It involves understanding how to move your brain, feed your brain, and talk to your brain. So you don't leave the hospital with a whole lot of instructions. In fact, you could say you had inadequate instructions. Of course, they always say follow up with your healthcare provider. That's perfect. That's exactly what you need. But you need a little bit more information about what got you there, how to prevent it from happening again in the future. So they don't tell you how to move your brain, feed your brain, and talk to your brain. Unfortunately, they don't have that kind of time because it does take a while to learn this information. It took me half a lifetime, so don't feel so bad. But is it really their job? The discharge nurse, is it his or her job to tell you how to move your brain, feed your brain, and talk to your brain? I wish it was their job, but unfortunately it's not. And like I said, they're already busy. They're already overwhelmed. So it's up to you. How can you do the job better? How can you teach yourself to move your brain, feed your brain, and talk to your brain so that you can prevent any recurrences of the type of health issue that you're dealing with, and also how to replenish, how to give back to your body that works so hard for you 24 hours a day. You've already got the tools. You just have to learn how to use those tools more proficiently. And with BrainSense Telehealth, I will teach you that. I will help you figure out how to do your job better. For one, you've got to understand the 4 functional levels of the nervous system, and you can evaluate how you are doing at each level of those 4 levels. You decide how well you're doing or how poorly you're doing, so you can come up with a plan to improve each of those levels. So that's BrainSense Telehealth, and you can learn more about it at my website, createpurpose.com. and look at the other video infomercials that explain the whole point of BrainSense telehealth so you can give yourself great life experiences. I'm glad you stuck around this long, and do hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Share this with somebody who is struggling with a health issue because they're not quite aware of how to move their brain, feed their brain, and talk to their brain. Thanks for watching.